Welcome back to another episode of BaKChat.
So enthusiastic.
Hi, Krista.
Hi, Brian.
Exciting news today.
Yeah.
We are only wanted for indecent exposure in 3 countries now instead of 5.
Amazing.
I
don't
know.
even think I've traveled to 3 countries, so I'm going to say you're responsible for most of those.
See, and now that's what I'm going to blame you, because you don't remember when B&K did Europe.
A Europe tour.
If you don't even remember, then quite frankly, you didn't deserve to have the charges dropped.
It's possible.
For the other things.
It's possible. As usual, we've been up to no good.
Yeah.
And we're recording our podcast today from your billionaire's view.
Yeah.
Of an apartment.
Literally a billionaire's view.
I'm loving it. It's so nice.
I've never lived, top floor somewhere before, and it sounds so bougie when I was like, it's a penthouse unit, but it's actually like a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
It's not very large.
It's like barely a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
It's small, but it's really cute.
But the view is insane.
The view is insane, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't feel as small because you have literally a view of the entire city, which is so amazing.
Yeah, I can see Cole Harbor.
Yeah.
All the way around False Creek. It's
so
just
nice.
It's insane.
And I love the trains. Like, you can see the trains off in the distance, you know?
Like the full train line. Like, you can see it go to commercial from here.
Amazing.
It's nuts. And
so
Science
great.
World. And
so good.
But I couldn't live here if it was not for the view.
No.
Like, if this were lower in the building and you were looking at another building,
it would be brutal.
It would be claustrophobic.
So
and
claustrophobic.
kind of like I'd have to play Sarah McLachlan all the time. It would be sad.
Yeah.
You know?
It would have a sad energy. It definitely does not have a sad energy.
No.
Not like how we started. Literally, I was like, I was just remembering that Brian and I once did an episode. We were reminiscing.
Yeah.
That was completely. We weren't recording at all, which I don't even actually know how we missed that to this day. I believe it was a 90-minute episode, so the lost episode of BaKChat.
And we talk about it, I think, before we start recording every time.
Because it was such a heartbreak.
And just another little peek behind the curtain for you, but we generally, so that we do noise reduction in post, we always do 11 seconds of silence. It needs to sample a noise profile of at least 3 to 4 seconds, but we do 11 in remembrance of our lost episode.
I know. It's so sad.
But it didn't stop us.
No, it didn't stop us, even though we had tech trouble again today. So if anyone wants to work for free and come be our tech support.
Yeah, we would love to have
we're still open.
Internship is open.
Yeah.
And you will do everything from production all the way to, legal filings for us.
For those indecent exposure charges that I can't remember.
Well, and you know what? It was so nice of that one person to drop them because the cigarette burns healed.
Good Lord. We're off to a great start. Every time I'm like, let's be, decent this time. Let's have a decent episode, where we're not going to talk about, dirty things. And then here we go. And we just get right into it. We can't help it.
We're indecent. We can't help ourselves.
We are indecent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would, you know what? I would not have it any other way at all.
We probably wouldn't be as interesting.
No. Not that we're interesting right now, but
no,
we would be even less interesting.
Yeah.
And then who would listen to this?
Literally nobody.
Okay, remember that time you were like, maybe we should do a live episode, where people come to it like podcasters do.
Right.
And remember my response? I was, actually, maybe I didn't respond at the time, but I gave it some thought and I was like, I'm not sure I would want to see a room full of people that collectively listen to this. They know too much, first of all.
I know. Plus, we wouldn't have the ability to edit ourselves, which we sometimes have to do.
That's true.
Like the last time where, remember, whatever it was, that last episode that we released, there was a moment where I thought Brian said something that he did not, and we literally had to pause so that I could basically piss myself laughing.
Yeah, and I can understand. I'm like, what was so funny about that?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's what you thought I said. Maybe we should clarify.
And we're not even going to tell you what it was.
No, at all.
No.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we touted ourselves for not editing that episode at all. So now there's a dirty little secret.
There's a dirty little
So
secret.
if you're
I'll keep you my dirty
secret.
Remember that?
Yeah. All American Rejects.
I loved it at the time.
I had such a crush on that lead singer.
Oh, fuck, who didn't?
Oof.
He was all smoldering with his hair. He would toss his hair in his eyes.
What do you think he looks like now?
That's a great question.
I couldn't even tell you what he looked like then. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I just knew I had the biggest crush on him.
Yeah, I did too. We're definitely gonna have to look
him
it up
and every other, even the Simple Plan guys.
I know. And the emo guys.
Yeah. Especially the emo guys.
The long black hair and the black eyeliner. It's oh my god.
And Fall Out Boy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
only because
I wasn't a Fall Out Boy fan, actually.
I thought Fall Out Boy's lead singer was Pete Wentz, who's actually not the lead singer. He's just part of the band.
Right.
But he was the one that got all the popularity because he dated Ashley Simpson and had some nudes leaked online of himself.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
But in my head, when I think about Fall Out Boy, I think about Pete Wentz singing the song. And so that just makes my heart, like, I'm in love with them too.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Pete Wentz, eh? That's your style.
Yeah, well, yeah, or Harry Styles.
I was a My Chemical Romance kind of gal.
Oh, yeah. No, you know what? There's some really good, solid tracks, though, that are still, I think, relevant today. Like, who was I speaking? Oh, okay, so I have a really good friend that does graphic design.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this in a little bit because she's doing it all for free for an upcoming event.
Oh,
which is amazing.
Fun.
She's amazing. We love her. Her daughter always requests, like, and her daughter's like 5. And they get in the car and she's like, can you play the song, like, about the parade? The Black Parade. And she loves the song. And I'm like, that's so adorable.
That's so funny.
And also it makes me feel ancient.
Yeah.
Because that song is old enough to vote.
I know, it's funny when you like start thinking about, I feel like time kind of like disappears a little bit once you hit like, maybe it's like mid to late 20s, and then all of a sudden it's like time kind of just, I don't know, the years just go.
You throw in a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
And
a couple of
shit
kids.
just goes like, everyone has this memory warp too. Like, it affected us all collectively. I think that like most of us have like some collective trauma that we've never addressed because we weren't allowed to leave our own homes. We were being told what to do. Like, there was a lot of things going on that had never happened in our lifetime.
It's true.
Combined with like a bajillion other things. And so things were so different and shifted so quick that I don't think we've culturally, collectively addressed that yet and given ourselves credit for making it through and still being true to who we were in a lot of cases.
Yes.
And B, also, just like the ramifications of
everything
post that. And I think that's why a lot of us have this collective memory warp where some memories feel like they were last year that were 6 years ago.
Totally.
Other ones feel like they were, like the polar opposite of that. It's so bizarre.
It's kind of like BC versus AD.
Yeah.
Before Christ, after death.
It is, yeah. I don't. Yeah. And you know what? I actually
before COVID.
After disease.
After disease. Here we are. So we're in the very beginning of AD.
We really are. Yeah. AD after the disease.
After disease.
Let's refer to time like that from now on.
Yeah.
And we'll just really confuse people.
Yeah.
We'll be like, well, in like 5 AD.
Yeah. They'll be like,
which would be like,
F?
2015.
Yeah.
You know what I love about that though, and I just actually want to take a moment. This is not in our show notes. This is just completely random that I'm gonna say, but like, so the pandemic brought the best and the worst in a lot of people, depending on what your viewpoint is. And a lot of people had very divided opinions on things, including I think you and I on a few things during that time. And I just wanted to highlight, I think, the importance of, if for anybody listening, like, you're allowed to have different opinions on things and you can still be friends.
100%.
Your friend is still a human being.
Yes.
And you can still have conversations and discussions and do things like a podcast
and disagree.
Because and in fact, it's important that we do disagree and get yourself out of an echo chamber sometimes.
100%. And I was actually just thinking about this because we just had an election come up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how I feel like a lot of internet culture, or with internet culture, along came poly, like this idea that everyone has to agree with you, and if they don't, it's like block. You know? And
that puts you in an echo chamber.
It does. And I think like it's actually really important to have differing views. Like Simon and I are actually a good example of this because we have like vehemently disagreed on things. Like been very like polar opposite of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But like through, and we would like even fight like when we were talking about like certain things. And then as like more information comes up and as you like learn how to communicate, or as we learned how to communicate, it was like not only did we find like just like a respect for each other, but also it allows you to open up your mind a little bit and kind of see where the other person is coming from.
Absolutely.
And I think along with COVID came a lot of like really intense views where it was like very hard this, hard that. And I think now what I know for myself and for other people in my life, and hopefully for the collective.
Yeah.
It's like, it's actually about coming to a place where you're able to kind of be respectful about other people's views.
Exactly.
And it is good, you know, I think we are a good example of that, you and I, because we did disagree about some things and we even fought.
We did.
But
we did. And the fight was like, it was so surreal. I felt like at the time, like I was fighting, I was having heated discussions and I was like militant on stances. And I had heated discussions with so many people that were close to me. Some of them, though, some things came out of those discussions where I'm like, okay, so this is a time where like you really don't have a place in my life right now. Maybe in the future. Yeah. But like because some viewpoints like are just like, you know, like when you get into racism or things like that, like,
or like sometimes it's not even about, because it's not even, it's sometimes it's a misunderstanding. I think that can happen really easily, is like, we're not getting to the heart of people. But I feel like, you know, if you're really able to listen and just like get out of your viewpoint for a second, especially with COVID, like I think something that came out of that was that people sometimes when we have a really strong view like that, and especially when they're really opposing, it's actually, we were all just kind of traumatized.
We were.
And so everyone was kind of in, I think, a nervous system response, like kind of collective state.
For sure.
And so now for me, I just always, you know, I think everyone who everyone got vaccinated for different views or didn't get vaccinated for different views. And from my perspective now, I can see why everybody did that. I think it was like, there was a lot of people who weren't vaccinated, though it was like, I don't want to do this to my body, like stop forcing me, like that's kind of like a nervous system response. And then other people were like, I just want to be a good person and I'm helping the collective. But it's like we were actually everyone actually wanted the same thing, which was the best for everybody. And
right, you just hit, that was,
and then that was where I think the opposing things came along.
Totally, because we all wanted the best for everyone.
Yeah, that was and we just had different ways of expressing
considering
it, right?
that we didn't even pre-discuss this at all.
We didn't.
And this is like totally ad lib.
Being the episode.
That was like a beautiful, very beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Also, the biggest problem is we didn't sit down in person and have these conversations.
Of course, a lot of it happened online.
Our fight didn't happen in person.
No, it happened.
Our fight happened behind a screen.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we were in 2 different countries.
Yeah.
And had we sat down together,
it never would have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although at the time, I don't think we were allowed to.
No, we weren't allowed to. And that was actually, I think, part of what elevated it all so much. So, I mean, I'll just say, if you have people in your life that you fought with during COVID and, you know, it really hurt you, I think it's important to like sit down and have those conversations in person and try to clear the air and really understand where everyone was coming from. I've had conversations with people in my life where I've like gotten apologies. I've also given apologies.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's, and I do think it's important to do those things sometimes.
It really is, especially like the giving the apology, like letting someone know that you forgive them is, or, you know, like, yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of what that is in essence. It's so good for your body. Like if you hold on to resentment, you're the only one who suffers.
It's true. And
long
it can
term
create sickness and disease
so much. And I think also at the time, like a lot of us were scared. We didn't know really what was going on in terms of like, what is this disease going to do to us? What is this virus going to do?
And like what are the powers that be doing, you know? Because I think we've also all lost a lot of collective trust in our governments, which I think is actually good, because I do think that it is creating a change that is needed in like dismantling the structures
and critical thinking, which is so important.
Yeah.
And what I also love now is like people who chose to get vaccinated, you know, or in that position, like we can go do it. Like, and there's nothing stopping us but now we know, like, you know, if we're getting boosters or whatever, like we know that like we've got, you know, vaccinations against this big unknown. What was the big unknown? And those, you know, who didn't, like we're not making each other feel unsafe anymore.
Yeah. And
because
I think,
like we've taken the precautions that either side deems necessary to feel safe.
Totally.
And I think collectively we've all learned a little common sense. Like if we wash our hands more.
Totally.
And we wouldn't go see like our elderly grandparent if we're feeling super sick.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have before COVID anyways, but I think now that's really driven it home to a lot of people. Like maybe stay away from like your elderly relatives if you feel like you're coming down with something, because you know what I mean? Like things like that.
And it's funny because you can kind of see both sides, because then there's also, it's like, I think the elderly in particular are also really vulnerable to loneliness in our modern culture. So it's like, you got to find that balance. And I think at the end of the day, everyone should just do what they think is best for them. But I do think that what everybody, you know, could use a little bit more of is just being able to hear views that are different from your own and still see that there's a human being behind it who actually does care.
Yes.
Because there's this dehumanization that happens where it's like, you don't care about people, you don't blah, blah, blah. And both sides did this of whatever. Mm-hmm. And in politics, we see this all the time. It's like, the conservatives don't care about this. Or like the NDP doesn't care about this. And it's like, actually, both sides have had horrible, like, things for human rights. They've had horrible, like, there's not great outcomes with any party ever. Like, you know, there's a bigger problem than that. So, and like,
we always try to remain like partisan on this podcast as well, for the most part. I will say though, like, the leader of every major party in Canada and the US right now that can all suck a dick. Every single one of them.
I love it. I agree.
Yeah, because they've all got these huge flaws, and like, nobody's perfect, obviously, but I feel like you get to a certain level of political notoriety, and it's almost like you go to some kind of secret elite school where you lose your soul.
I think so. I agree. I actually agree. But this is why, you know, we're actually in the age of Aquarius now, and I think that this is where, for me, the biggest thing is we need to create our own communities and kind of just continue, instead of looking at changing the powers from we need to change the government and change this. I feel like we need to actually just look at our individual lives and be what we want to see. I think that's such a good, you know, thing to remember. You're not going to be able to change everything around the world. Your nervous system can't handle seeing everything that goes on around the world. Change what's in you by being a good neighbor, being a good friend, being a good whoever.
Keep it simple and like,
keep it simple. Will actually change the world.
You want to see.
Yeah.
And it's so deep. Like, that's such a cliche old saying, but it's not cliche. It's true.
It really is true.
Yeah.
And I think when we put that energy forward, especially like there is kind of a negative energy to like fighting against something, as in like a different vibration. To fight against something, that's kind of like a war mindset. Like, oh, we're fighting against the powers that be. I feel like if you can be in a place of kind of receiving and just like giving and like being, you know, what is it in your own neighborhood that you can do, like genuinely in your own friend circle, that's a very different way of quote unquote fighting. I think we need to be done with the fighting.
Don't drop the F-bomb.
And like, not to say like everyone just be complacent. I just mean like, I do think that is actually how change will continue to. It's a much more progressive way.
I think it's starting, and I really think, like, you know, like there were some like
I agree.
There were some folks where I was telling them like we were going to do another podcast, for example, and like the concept behind that was exactly what we just talked about. And I think you and I have talked about this previously, the importance of bridging that gap and not dehumanizing one another. Yeah. Which I think Brene Brown, our Lord and Savior Brene Brown, goes into great detail about that, because she always says like, you know, I will never dehumanize no matter notoriety. She was like, but I always try to stay curious.
Yeah, staying curious.
That's her big thing, is like stay curious and be brave.
That's our adult self, right? The calm, compassionate, curious self. That's our adult self. And whenever we're acting out of like, you know, if you can kind of go inside and actually think about where that's coming from, it's probably just like a child part of you that's like acting out.
And Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate goes into great detail about this.
Yes.
As well as, so there's so many good resources out there, but
totally.
I think like the takeaway for everyone listening right now is like, if you have feelings of animosity or you're harboring something for someone right now that was close to you in your life, highly recommend go see them, humanize them by seeing them in person.
Agreed.
Because you and I like healed our rift to the point where we're making a podcast together again, despite having different views, because we saw each other. Yeah. We saw each other in person.
And we were able to like actually move past it.
We looked each other in the eye and we're like, right, I love you. I actually literally like actually love you. Yeah. Like, and we're like, okay, like what are we doing? This is really silly.
Yeah, totally. And I think that even just that little act, that's like something you can do to kind of heal the collective trauma.
Yes.
Of you know, the whole COVID years. Like, that's how we'll heal the collective, is just by healing our own relationships and stop being afraid. You know, I used to be like, ugh, like when I would see someone in a mask like at the grocery store, and I'm like, fucking get over it, it's 2023. You know, but like now I'm like, you just never fucking know. And like, everyone should just do what you want. If you want to wear a mask and that makes you feel good, that's amazing. I don't want to wear one that makes me feel good, fantastic. Like, you know, like
absolutely.
And just like, and it doesn't trigger me anymore because you
Love
and
it.
that's how you, if you can let it go.
And everyone's got their own reasons. And also other people, like, you know, like immunocompromised people might be like, if you aren't feeling well, like, please don't come over. Like, they can be.
Totally.
And I love that it's given them a bit more of a voice.
Have control over your own space. 100%.
Exactly. And then also it's like, maybe we're like, look at masking and stuff like that. Which, like, you know, like from a science perspective, if you're not wearing like a dirty one all the time, like, you know, it's like viral load, whatever's in the air. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
However, there's also different reasons people wear masks too.
Totally.
Like, they might have just finished chemo.
My stepdad, for instance, he has a skin like an allergic reaction to the sun.
Okay.
And
wow.
Yeah.
Is he a vampire?
A little bit. No. But he had to wear, like, literally in the summertime, gloves, like a hat, a full mask to cover his face because he was going into the sunshine. Wow. So he kind of looked like this crazy person,
or
like,
a diva,
like yeah, like it's like a ninja or something, you know, like. But he had to cover his whole body.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it's like if I saw someone like that out in like 2021, I would be like, oh my god, like rolling my eyes. But actually, it had nothing to do with disease. It was like literally he just has like a skin allergy,
a sun allergy. Yeah. Now, out of curiosity, does he still have it?
He does. It definitely acts up, but he's like, you know, he's actually doing some crazy like allergy specialist thing right now. So hopefully he'll be able to get it worked on. But yeah, it kind of like flares up his skin.
Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting because he grew up in like Kenya. Wow. So super sunny there.
Also, I did not know this.
Yeah.
We could get into it. You know what?
We could.
Put it on the next time show.
Totally.
Notes.
I'm like, how much time have we talked about this?
Well, I think the important thing is to remember is like adding to BaKChat University. We are now professional healologists.
That's right. That's right.
We're accredited.
We're accredited
through our university.
Yeah.
And so that's important to remember. And now that we're you know, done strumming our guitars and singing kumbaya, you know, before we start making out and combing each other's armpit hair,
literally. Should we do some fake sponsors?
I think so. I think so.
We should.
What do you think?
I absolutely think we should. I will actually start because I'm going to tell you. So Brian and I went to a little Halloween party on the weekend.
A soiree, if
you will. A
little
soiree.
Yeah.
And I was a dirty little devil.
You were like the dirtiest devil. And we're actually, you haven't seen the video yet, but the person who is doing the graphic design that we love, whose daughter loves Black Parade, took a video of us. And it's in slow-mo. And we're doing we're doing a nipple check together.
Good Lord.
And I think that's going on our story.
I love it. Let's pop it on there.
It'll be on.
Why not? Well, being the dirty little devil that I was wearing some red pleasers, and I completely fucked up my hip. Oh. So off I ran to the chiropractor this morning before I went to my fake sponsor today, which is Elizabeth Peterson Hair.
Okay.
And you know her.
Elizabeth.
Lil Liz.
What a hot fucking name.
I know. And she's such a hottie, too.
She honestly is.
Yeah.
Do you know who she looks like?
Who?
Alicia Silverstone.
Oh my God.
Does she not?
Cute. I can see that. Yeah. I totally could see that.
Yeah. Like, the non-blonde. Like,
totally.
Or, hold on. Shit. No, I think I just screwed that up. Alicia Silverstone or, who plays Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I can't remember what her name is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You look it up. Who plays Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
And you keep telling us about Elizabeth.
I will. So I had to run really quickly to the chiropractor because my hip is just completely fucked up. Luckily, I made it in time for our appointment because I hate being late. But yeah, she's been doing my hair for like almost 2 years now. Okay. It's like the longest and healthiest it's ever been. Mm-hmm. She does such a good job. She's like
your hair looks amazing.
I know. And we didn't even actually bleach it today. We just did like a tone and a cut.
Wow.
Today. Yeah. Because I'm like growing it out a little bit.
You know what I love looking at it right now? What? It looks like you weren't even there.
I know.
Which is what everyone wants.
Yeah. That's her like specialty is the lived in color. So it's like when you leave, it's not, you know what I mean?
I said that without even knowing.
Oh my God. Like she literally does these like the way she does it with your roots. It's like as it grows out, like I've literally never had a bad hair day since I started seeing her.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the color is so good. Like as it grows out, it just looks like, you know, it doesn't look like hard roots. Like I think it's called a root melt. I don't know what she does, but anyway, she's an angel.
Yeah, she's
wonderful.
If she hears this, like you just said what every hairdresser, every hairdresser's wet dream is literally what you just said.
It's just like so
I don't know,
cute.
You know, Elizabeth, if you're listening, like I don't know if you've ever jerked off to a podcast before.
Now's your chance.
Welcome to the club.
The podcast jerk off club.
Yeah.
No, she's like literally so wonderful though. She like her little studio is so cute. Like it's just very intimate. And what I really love about her too is like I feel like her brand and like her aesthetic and like when you go, it's like super like just like bougie and like it feels really like luxurious.
Where is her studio?
It's in Gastown.
Okay.
On Water Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
whereabouts? Like
it's
for you
like
to go?
I can't remember what the building is, but it's like a little walk up like older building. I want to say I can't remember what it's called.
Is it on the corner across from that park?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not there.
Okay.
Down a little further. I'm trying to think what it's near, but
okay.
yeah, it's great. And like, I don't know, it's just
it.
Really cute. And you just like walk in and her decor is like so nice. Her aesthetic is so like, just like clean and fresh, but like very like luxury. It feels like a luxury appointment. You know what I mean?
I love it.
It's so nice. Like,
and she's just such a lovely, like I've only met Liz like a couple months ago, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, if you will.
Elizabeth.
At the party, like she introduced herself to someone and she was like, "Hi, I'm Elizabeth." And I was like, if I didn't think you were hot before, like you just got 10 times hotter.
I know. No, she's such a cutie pie. And
oh, by the way, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, okay.
She's a dead ringer for her.
Oh my God. Okay, cute.
Brown hair.
Yeah, totally.
You put Sarah Michelle Gellar into like, make her 10 years younger at the current time and slap her in a brunette wig.
Totally.
That's Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Right?
I know, and she's got a great head of hair.
Maybe we should call her Buffy.
Oh, cute. Buffy.
I love it.
Buffy the hair slayer. She is the hair slayer though. Okay.
What's her studio called?
But you know what? It's just Elizabeth Peterson hair.
Okay.
And you know what I love though about her is that like she's so hot that like it's like a little bit intimidating. Do you know what I mean?
She's intimidatingly hot.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But then and like her whole like aesthetic and everything, like if you check out her Instagram, it's like I don't know, like I feel like if I didn't know her, I would almost be like, oh, like it's like, like will she be like what will the experience be? But she's so down to earth. She's so lovely. Yes. Like she's just warm and like welcoming and she loves to talk. Like we always have the best chats. Like today I was literally in there for an hour.
Yeah.
And usually my appointment is like 4 or 5 hours because we're doing like bleach and stuff and blonding. But today we weren't doing that. And I was like, this isn't enough time for me. Like I was like, we need our 5 hours. Like what the hell?
And I love that she'll make that time and just like, so accommodating. Yeah. I would put her up there. So like I would say you and I are fairly confident people, you know, like we're pretty confident. Elizabeth is in that category. I'm going to put her in the same category, and they've been on the podcast before, so I'll say them by name, like Mandy and Christine.
Okay, yeah.
If you listen back to our episode called Surf's Up for the last time, we did a 420 episode, and Mandy at the time was doing like Mary Jane Technologies.
Oh, yeah,
and serial entrepreneur, but like Mandy and Christine are the same kind of people that like, they are intimidatingly attractive.
Right.
And you're like, if you didn't meet them in person and just saw them, you would be like...
A little bit like...
Am I cool enough to even say hi to them?
Totally. Actually, Christine and Elizabeth, I feel like they're kind of similar in their like vibe of like how they're going about their life in terms of like business. I wonder, they must have, well, I know Christine's a Capricorn. I believe Liz is a Pisces actually, but I bet you she has some Capricorn in there.
She must. Yeah, she's
somewhere.
There's definitely Capricorn.
Yeah, because they're both very passionate about their work and they have a very high standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I love. I love to go to somewhere that has like a really high standard, and so it's like you're going to be taken care of. Like no one is going to fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like so warm, so welcoming, just like so lovely. She was such a little pretty kitty that night at the Halloween party.
Little black cat. Next level.
She had a leash as a tail. I was like, this is so cute.
yeah, cute. You said hot wrong. Well, Elizabeth, welcome to the podcast Jerk Off Club.
Yeah, welcome to being. Oh, and you know what she gave me today?
Ooh, what?
She gave me her candle. So she makes a candle. Like she has a little like side brand. I don't even know, but it's called West Coast Muse. And
I'm so obsessed.
Oh my God, it smells so good. It was like burning in her studio and I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, she like gave it to me today. It was so sweet.
Wow. Okay, let's take a picture and pop that up there too.
I will. I totally will.
I love this.
Yeah. So speaking of our little Halloween night and our little fake sponsors, tell me what's your little fake sponsor?
Okay, so you were like the hottest devil ever. Also, I want to make a side note that our momager, Amanda, or do we call her Panda on here? I don't know. She and her husband hosted this amazing party. Like they always Halloween is Amanda's thing.
Yeah.
and she has to go to like I think a stagette in like Florida.
It's an actual wedding.
Oh, an actual wedding. Okay.
She's actually going to a wedding, so she's missing Halloween this year.
So she's like her biggest deal.
Yeah.
And so she put on this fabulous party that we went to on Saturday. And she was dressed as Curious George for the party. I just want to add in here that like she had a whole theme party for her family, and they all were dressed up as Ghostbusters, like to the T. And then she was something else at one point. And then for the party, her and her husband had completely different costumes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you're blowing me away here.
Curious George and the
man in the yellow hat.
Which was hilarious because they also have like a 2-foot height difference.
And so I started calling Amanda Bi Curious George.
Oh my God.
And then the whole party was like, oh, you're dressed up as Bi Curious George. And she's like, no, that was Brian.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And then so I told her husband this. I was like, so you're always dressed up as Bi Curious George, hey? And he pretended to, he's dressed as the man in the yellow hat, okay?
Yeah.
He pretended to open a kid's book. This was his response. He's like, and the man in the yellow hat sat on the couch and watched.
Oh my God.
And I was
Get it, Mike.
I'm like, you've never stumped me ever. He's never left me hanging when I throw something just obscene at him.
That's Libra vibes for you.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Us Libras. But so speaking of this party, so I decided to dress up as the Pink Pony Club.
It was so cute.
Because of our little chapel obsession.
Yeah.
And it came with like, like a myriad of things.
Yes.
Yeah, myriad of things.
I think
it's not a myriad, it's myriad of things. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You're right.
Anyways, that was embarrassing as a grammarologist, but anyways, so there was like a pink wig, there was a cowboy hat. I had
the terrifying blue contacts.
And so we'll get to that for my fake sponsor because their name is Model Express.
Oh, we know her.
So, and I didn't know her.
You didn't know her?
I did not know Model Express existed.
Oh my God. So tell me all about it.
Any way, shape, or form, which is really actually like quite odd considering, actually it's not really odd because I've never actually gone
You've never needed
full.
A pair of pleases? Or...
I've really never needed any of the above. So I went on Amazon. I ordered like this pink skirt, this fishnet, a pair of fishnets. These really cool. They're just like platform. Like
those were really cute. You
they're
got
like
those on
platform
Amazon?
Kicks. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're
cute.
like $60.
Wow.
I'm keeping them.
They're
like,
really cute.
They're part of like I'm just gonna wear them. They're awesome. They're so comfortable.
I love them on you.
And then but the fishnets didn't arrive with my costume, and so it's day of. And I'm like, what do I do? So I go onto Amazon and I check the order and I'm like, it should have arrived with my wig.
Right.
So I go on to Amazon. I click the little chat button.
Right.
And it's a bot talking to me at first.
Okay.
So I'm telling it my issue. And it was just trying to, like, it's like, go to the
Being
manufacturer,
annoying,
do this, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I speak to a live agent?
Right.
And it's like, are you sure you want to speak to a live agent? And it's like, yeah. First time I've ever done this on
I didn't even
Amazon.
know you could speak to a live agent.
Me neither,
on Amazon.
actually. I thought it was just a bot. So I get through to this live agent.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hi. I'm like, this item in my order didn't arrive.
Right.
And the live agent was like, okay, so I just want to confirm. Just give me 1 second. And then he's like, all right, I pulled it up. I just want to confirm though. Are you talking about the, and I'm reading from a screenshot because I had to fucking screenshot this. Are you talking about the Resolve Black Women's Fishnet Body Stocking that is crotchless with attached stockings? That's a one-piece baby doll size stripper pack.
Oh my God. You're like, wow, that is exactly what I'm talking about.
So my response was, yes, that's the item. They're like, in this case, can I issue a full refund? Shall I proceed? I'm like, yes, please. Thank you. Appreciate the service.
You're like, oh my God, so embarrassing.
And I'm like, that's logged in my Amazon history. So who
Love
knows?
it.
But then I had to Google, like, where does one...
The FBI is definitely like, just like popping that into their notes on you.
I've got like full time.
Oh yeah.
I've got a whole team over it. So do you.
I'm sure you do.
So do you.
The two of us? Come on.
Well, yeah. Well,
someone's out there like logging the events of BaKChat.
I feel bad like since some of those indecent
maybe
exposure charges were dropped.
Our intern.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you got laid off because most of those charges were dropped at the FBI, come be our intern.
Come be our intern, babe.
Yeah, you'll have a great time.
Yeah. You can sleep on the balcony.
Exactly. And we try to be very, consent is sexy.
Yeah.
But if you ever feel pressured by us, we try to put the sensual back in non-consensual. Anyways.
See, these are the moments where it's like, it's good to have the ability to edit.
True. Should we?
But we're keeping it in.
Okay, we're gonna. There was no offense, but consent is sexy. I mean, actually, I work.
Don't even clarify
I work
yourself.
so much with the Housetown Women's Center, and we
No.
designed blah, 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 blah. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Back to my costume.
Okay.
So then I was like, where does one acquire a black fishnet body stocking? And I
type that into Google.
saw this place called Model Express, which is like a 10-minute walk from where I am. It's on West Hastings.
Yeah.
So I go in.
Now, did they have the like service desk like blocking the door, so they have to open it up for you?
Yeah, and so I walk up, and for anyone in Vancouver that's familiar with like that part of Hastings, it's right by Save On Meats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they have a little desk. So I walk up, I'm like, how do I get in? And then
They're
this
like, we'll open it.
really nice woman comes up, and she like moves it aside. She like had the coolest hair. It was like half pink, half black. It was her real hair, like I confirmed. Like it was just like black pink, and
I love that.
Yeah, and also I love like the song Sour Candy with Blackpink and Lady Gaga.
So sour candy.
So sweet, then I get a little angry.
Oh.
Oh, angry? Nasty? I don't know.
Both.
Take a bite.
Yes.
That's all we need to remember.
Yeah.
So I go in, and I was like, so I'm looking for a body stocking, and then she went behind the counter and she grabs all these different options, and she's like,
I love
looking me up and down. She's like, hey, you don't need one with the arms, you're taller, so we'll do this one because they're all one size. And she's like, this one's not quite fishnetty, I don't think, because I told her what the idea for the costume was.
Right.
And I was also wearing a t-shirt that I designed, whom maybe next time we do this episode I will say who the company was, but there was this lovely girl from Russia, actually, I worked there. Her name was Ellie.
Okay.
And so she met me, like, and we designed this t-shirt in like 10 minutes together.
Oh my God, I love it.
And she was so quick on the graphics. And I was just like, with the design, I'm like, let's do this, let's do that. Maybe I'll post a photo on the gram as well.
Totally.
And so it had just like an outline of a pink pony and a black club symbol on the front.
So cute.
And then in the back, I decided to kind of go a little bit awry. Not awry. I took a different direction with the song because I love feminine nomenon.
Yeah, totally.
As well.
Yeah.
And so I had like a little checklist that said like, make it right, get it hot, like a bitch, feminine nomenon.
Yeah.
But I cropped the t-shirt. Had I not cropped it, at the very bottom, like across the butt, it said, can you play a song with a fucking beat?
I love that. Yeah. It was so cute.
But anyway,
I especially loved when it turned into your mini skirt at the end of the night.
So we can, if you want to talk about that, we can after. But so at Model Express, she not only gave me a body stocking, well, didn't give it to me, but it was like $10.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you know, have you ever tried costume contacts? And I was like, I haven't. And she was like, I was like, I've actually never really worn contacts. And she was like, okay, so we have like, they're normally like, one pair for $29.99, two for $50. She's like, but like, we're gonna give you a little deal today if you want to try these out. She's like, but I think you should wear. She's like, with your pink wig and the pink cowboy hat and your whole thing, we have this pair called Acid Cotton Candy, which make your.
Oh my God, yeah.
And she's like, because you know, sometimes when you're out at the Pink Pony Club, your eyes can start looking like this anyways, and there's nothing wrong with that because who knows what you're gonna run into out there, right? And she said it like in that accent too,
God, I love
like you when I talk when we're talking
like
silly.
the two of us talk when we're trying to get into it. Yeah,
exactly. But she didn't actually talk like that, so it was so good.
Oh my God,
and
so
I
cute.
was like, okay, and so it was like this huge people with like this outline of a pink iris.
It was yeah.
And, well, that's not what I ended up
I
wearing.
know you didn't end up wearing them, but they were pretty spooky. The ones you did wear.
And then there's other pair, and it's called Chucky Blue. Because
Okay,
they're meant to look like
scary.
Chucky, the doll's blue eyes.
Yes.
And she's like, so my friend, he's doing Chucky cosplay. And I was like, oh, like not Halloween? She's like, I said cosplay girl. And I was like,
oh my
okay.
God.
And she's like, here's a picture of him wearing the contacts. And so they were like, I was like, whoa. And she's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll do the two pairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, the blue ones could come in fun later.
Yeah.
And then I get home. I struggle for my life getting one contact in my eye that was pink.
Yeah.
And I looked, and it looked so good.
Oh my God.
Huge people, pink iris. It would have gone great with the costume.
Right.
I tried to put the other one in, and it fell off my finger. It's still in my bathroom somewhere. I have not found where it fell.
Oh my God, it just disappeared.
And it was so weird. So I was like, maybe I can just do one. And I looked in the mirror, but with just one eye, it actually looked like I had pink eye.
Oh my God, you're like, no, this is not
pink.
the vibe. Yeah.
So I pulled it out, looked at the blue ones. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I popped the blue ones in. I managed to get them both in. And it made my eyes like, people were telling me at the party I looked like a White Walker from Game of Thrones.
It was kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they absorbed the blue light in the room.
Yeah.
And they glowed in the dark almost.
Yeah, they did. It was kind of scary, but
so
it was
these
cool.
Blue contacts in, a lot of fun. And then as the night, I want to say devolved.
Right.
My costume ended up like, I was outside and like one of our friends is like, are you wearing underwear under that? And I was like, I am. And she's like, then take your skirt off. And I
Yeah.
was like, excuse me? So basically all of you like stripped me.
It may have even been Liz, actually, who
out
said
of my,
that.
yeah,
Was it?
and Haley.
Liz and Haley, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it totally was.
And,
It was so funny.
Saeed, if I can say
Yes,
names
yes,
on here,
yeah,
or let's
yeah.
just call him Sammy. Sammy, Liz,
We
and
can say
Haley
names.
stripped me out. You guys were all basically like, take your skirt off. Like, actually almost like yelling at me outside. And I was like,
Take
okay.
it off. Take it
And
off.
so
But
Haley
it looked
like
so hot.
grabs it. And so then I'm just like in these like platform shoes with fishnets
so
and
cute.
a crop top.
It was so
with
hot.
the underwear. But actually it did look really fun.
It looked really good.
And so then as the night progressed even more, my sunglasses went somewhere, I have no idea. My cowboy hat went somewhere. I still haven't found the sunglasses or the cowboy hat.
Oh no.
And then I took the wig off, and so it was just like me and like my roots are growing out now, but it was like just a hint of blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's cute. I love the grow out,
I can't remember, but somebody was just like, you just went from Pink Pony Club to no pussy is safe. Because apparently it looked like just a big old lesbian.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, cute.
And so that was fun. And then I took one contact out.
Yeah.
And then it looked really, really spooky.
Right.
Like
Frightening.
Halloween.
Yeah, totally.
And then I ended up taking the other one out. And then I went home, like carrying my skirt in the bag and whatever. And so like I get in an Uber with just like fishnets and underwear on.
Oh my God.
Get back here, but it was all good. It was
Yeah.
fun. I have a picture of me in the elevator, like after the party.
Oh my God,
Maybe
I love
I should
it.
do a little. We should post our costumes,
Oh, we'll post our costumes
and maybe
for sure.
we'll do a little before and after.
I love it. Let's do it.
But anyway, so the service at Model Express was amazing. Loved them there, especially you know who you are because you helped me. And she was like, if you take any costume photos tonight, tag us.
Oh my God, cute.
And I was like, I didn't tell her this, but in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do you one more. I'm actually just going to email you guys and let you know that like you're our fake sponsor. One of our fake sponsors on BaKChat.
Yeah, totally.
Model Express, West Hastings, Vancouver. Google them. They actually have better prices than Amazon.
They do. And I feel like it's better quality too. I've actually got a pair of like 8-inch pleasers from them, the clear stripper shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were lovely. When I went in to try everything on, they moved the service desk and like they've got so much stuff. They're very helpful and like very like non-judgmental, I feel like. Because I was kind of like, hey, like I'm here for some stripper shoes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, I'm here for a fishnet body
Hi,
stocking.
I need a fishnet body stocking.
And she was like, come on in.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm buying contacts and just like,
so funny.
and then I left and she gave me a little Halloween treat. She's like, you want a little treat for the road?
Oh my God,
gives
you're
me
like,
some
thank
Halloween
you.
candy.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it.
Super adorable. So
It's
now
adorable.
we have spent like, 43 minutes and we're not even done our fake sponsors.
This is what we do every time. It's totally fine.
But we're wonderful. I meant to say we're good for time, and that just came out of my mouth.
We just are wonderful.
We are. We're wonderful. And now we've kind of, I think, like, we've talked about our fake sponsors. We talked about Halloween a little bit.
We did talk about Halloween a little bit.
Fun that was.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I want to know how you were feeling the next day. Did you have a nice time?
I had a brunch at 11.
Yeah.
With actually one of our very, very good longtime listeners since day one. I'm going to just say Ruby Gooby if you're out there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, our little marathon runner.
Yes.
Yeah,
we know her.
So she at brunch was like, I listened to the episode and she sent me a voice note after actually.
Oh,
and
cute.
She was just like, just finished listening. It's really good to hear you guys again. Blah,
Aw,
blah.
cute.
It's like we love her. We love you, Ruby Gooby.
Totally.
And then like two of my other friends as well. And so I had to tell them all about like just
Everything.
Halloween and everything. But I was actually feeling really good
Mm-hmm.
because I remember and once again, like our momager goes all out for her parties, but like we're on the dance floor and like we're lit like it's 4 a.m. on like, a Saturday 5 years ago. And it was like before midnight.
I know.
And I just remember Haley being just like, oh my goodness, like it feels like it's so much later. And then we were all cleared out of there and gone, like I was home and in bed, like well before 2 a.m.
Yeah, we left at 1:15 and it was perfect. I always find like the next day, I don't know if you get this, but like just like I wasn't even like hung over, but like you just kind of, I don't know, it's like you've had a late night, you're doing a little bit of partying, you're having a nice time, and then you get kind of like cuddly and like, do you get like that?
Yeah, and like a little cozy feeling.
Totally. And like before when I was like childless, I would be like, let's have sex, But obviously now we have kids, it makes it a little bit harder.
But
and
now you can just cuddle with
I'm
kids.
like, come cuddle. Like I was like, Daddy, come cuddle with me. And Ziggy's like, no, cuddle with me. Like, be a bird in my nest. Like, she's like wanting him to be a bird. So we were like, put on Little Bear.
Oh.
Because the kids love Little Bear. So
Yeah.
we're like, here you guys go. So we put on Little Bear and like turn the autoplay on because it's on YouTube. And I was like, come have a shower with me. Even though my hip was like still fucked from being a dirty little devil, I was like, I can still do this. So we like ended up like fucking in the shower because we were like making out in our bed while the kids were like playing, and then they like came in and I was like, we need to like, you guys need to do something else. And then I was like, let's have a shower. Yeah. So we like had a shower and it was like very sexy, fun, steamy for sure.
Hot shower.
It was definitely a hot shower, but literally, I kid you not. Like, can I say this?
You can say whatever you want to.
I mean, whatever. Who cares?
It's our show.
So he basically, I was like, give him a blowjob.
Yeah.
Should we say this?
Totally. Okay. I love how we always, and we're both blushing right now.
Because I'm like, I guess I'm saying this.
You know what?
God, I hope my mom doesn't listen to this episode.
Our show are rules. I can't make any promises.
Oh God.
That's the other thing. Think before you say.
I know.
Because like Trace will make a comment to one of us if she hears something that she finds off-putting or funny.
It's true. I should just say like, Mom, don't listen to this episode at the like 45-minute mark.
Oh, your mom's already balls deep in this episode. So.
Oh God. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll just talk like she's not listening. Anyway, so there was a little. Well, we'll just say there was some fun to be had.
Okay.
All over my face.
Oh, wow.
Because we're in the shower.
You're in the shower, yeah.
It's fun.
It was just like face wash.
It was face wash. And then literally, I was like, which is like, rinse myself off. And then like, Rex comes and like opens the shower curtain. Like we didn't even hear him coming. He just like opens the shower curtain. I was like literally on my knees. Like nothing was happening at this point. Thank God. I was like, oh my God, we almost just gave you like your first memory of like trauma. And he just like was looking at us like he was like looking like one to the other, like looking at us like, and we're just like, hi. I was like,
mommy dropped the soap.
Yeah. And I was like, did you want to come in? Because usually he wants to come into the shower, and he's like, no, and just closed the curtain. And we were like,
first Judge Judy moment.
Oh my God, we were laughing so hard. I was like, tell me, like, thank God he did not just walk in like literally 30 seconds earlier.
The timing is everything with that.
It was so funny. Oh my God. We were like dying laughing.
Funny because it didn't happen.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh. How mortified would you be? You wouldn't be telling me the story right now.
He was so judgmental about it. But like, that's his vibe. They're just like, my kids are so judgmental sometimes. Yeah, they just like will look at you like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, they just have little like judgy personalities.
If I had $1 for every time I received a look like that from, your side of the family.
Oh yeah, I know.
I could buy this condo.
It's true. I know. I'm like, where the heck does she get it from?
I love it. All of you girls too. It's just like everyone from our momager all the way up to our sexologist.
It's Marshall
She loves
Madness.
it when we call her that. Yeah.
I know. She AKA hates it.
I love it though. Like that Judge Judy part is like one of my favorite things.
I know. She's still in my phone. She's Judith. And so when I'm using Siri, which I do all the time now, I'm like Siri, call Judith, and she will. I hope she doesn't do it right now though.
Well, she might. Who knows?
Well,
that would be funny, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, surprise guest.
Yeah, surprise guest. Hello.
I call it. Do you know what she saved it as in my phone now? It's usually Venus, but now because just. One of the things I love the most about our resident sexologist, and by the way, did I tell you last time I didn't even know sexologist was a real word when we did that episode years ago? Yeah. And so we need to call her something else. Thing. A kinkologist, maybe.
Kinkologist, yeah, sure.
We should have her back on. Her is she is always looking out for people's safety whenever we're anywhere.
I know.
Always.
It's true.
And so I've started calling her Safety Marshal.
Oh my God, cute. Okay, what does
that?
Someone else has a nickname for her that is because of that?
Safety Steve?
No, it's like... She's man, I can't remember, but I actually do love that about her is that you can always kind of like rely on her to like make sure everybody's being safe.
Totally, yeah.
And it's hilarious.
It's the best though.
Yeah,
like
it is.
I don't
it
know.
Is nice. Sometimes I'm like, don't worry, like eldest. Don't worry. She's like, I feel responsible for everyone. I'm like, it's okay.
Venus, we love you. We love you.
We do.
Okay, so I'm just going to circle back on the shower sex super quick. Okay.
Let's circle back.
And anyone who's ever experienced anything to do with like semen in the shower before will relate to this, which is probably a lot of you. Getting your face jizzed on in the shower. Sorry, Trace. So I just find like jizz in the shower almost turns into like concrete. It turns into like super glue trying to wash it off. Like paste that like sticks to hair. Like it really, I think biologically it's designed to do that when it's like in a moist environment. It's gonna stick to stuff, right?
Yeah, totally. It like doesn't necessarily
on
just
your
wash
face,
off.
That just sounds horrific.
Well, you know what? I bet you in 5 years they'll be, you'll be able to like go and donate your semen for like facials. You know how they do those like vampire facials?
Oh, yes.
They'll be doing they'll be doing jizz facials.
Okay, wow.
Because there's actually a lot of B vitamins. There's all kinds of stuff in jizz.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. I'm going to apologize for you as well. Actually, sorry, Mom, too.
sorry, everybody. Honestly.
We've all done things we regret on this podcast.
This is what I'm saying. We are indecent. We don't know how to not do this.
Exactly. Which, once again, is why we're so thankful those charges were dropped by, like most of the countries.
Most of the countries.
Thank the Lord cigarette burns heal.
My God. I also want to note that when I arrived, I'm like, Brian, meet me downstairs in the parkade with the parking pass, which you did not. And then I'm like we're like, okay, I'll go park in your parking spot. And like Brian actually had to drive me down there. You had to drive me down to your parking spot because I was like, I can't park in your tiny parking spot.
Yeah.
And you were saying you prefer to back into the parking spot.
Always back into parking stalls. And one thing people, maybe they find it surprising because like gays are apparently bad drivers or something like that. But hey, I'm actually
I thought it was women.
Pretty good driver. Yeah, gays and women. We're terrible. But I'm actually really good at parking. And like backing into stuff because I guess like
it's because you're a man,
being
Brian.
an Alberta boy at roots, though, I always drove like a pickup truck and was parking in the city with it.
Oh yeah.
So you get me in a car, I'm just like whoop whoop. Yeah. But I like to back into stalls without using a camera. I prefer using mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just feel like there's something better about it. It's good to not rely on a camera all the time.
Yeah.
But if you back into a stall, you decrease your risk of an accident significantly.
That makes sense.
Because most accidents happen when people are backing out of a parking stall.
That makes sense. Because you can't see. But
you can't see, you can't control that variable of like whoever's coming behind you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pull out, you've got full visibility, you're used to driving that direction. It decreases accident rates so much that I actually have clients that I work for where if you go to their offices, it's a rule at the company that you have to back in.
Oh my God.
Because it's that big of a...
I could never work there, Brian.
It cuts down there. It's like
I could never work there.
And they're like, it's so funny because some of them have little modules. It's like, feel uncomfortable backing in? Come practice with us. And they like get you used to like backing into stuff. And I didn't ever have to do it because I'm so good at what I do.
I'm going to have to like, you're going to have to like, okay, you do know this about me that I still have my N?
No.
I still have my N.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have my full license. I've had my N
Hold on, is there an N sticker on your vehicle?
No, I never use it.
Oh, great. Here comes another charge.
Literally, I've never been pulled over, like knock on wood, I've never been pulled over.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what?
But I've been driving like this for over 15 years.
We just lost an intern because that FBI agent just got rehired back on the team.
You're right. I'm totally screwed. I'm going to get pulled over. My thing is be like,
yeah, knock on wood.
If I ever got pulled over, I'd just be like, oh my God, like my husband doesn't like to use the N, so he took it off. And I like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. I thought it was on here. That would be my excuse.
Okay.
This is my canned excuse.
That sounded like a great excuse.
Okay, great.
I'm sold.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Are you sold?
If I were a cop, I'd
Please
be like, I'll let you off for sure.
But I need to go do my full license test, which I did once and I failed.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm never going back. I hate testing. But also I feel like because I'm a woman, with 15 years on my end, they should just give me my full license.
I'm surprised they don't.
I know.
Like, yeah, and your driving record
And I've had an insured car for like the entire time.
Your driving record is like squeaky clean.
It's squeaky clean.
Like a balloon not after a tushy.
Yeah. But honestly, my method for like, parallel parking or anything like that is just like cross your fingers.
Now... Okay, there's a reason maybe you still have an N. We need to work on this together. I need your help.
I feel like BaKChat needs to teach me how to back in.
BaKChat
what? BaKChat to back in. Let's do it.
As a drivologist, I will get you accredited.
Okay, great.
I know some people with the school.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking of like hiring one of those like driving instructors.
Yeah.
To just like do some of the route with me, like whatever the route is, and then just like book it. I just need to do it. It's so embarrassing, honestly.
They're wonderful. Also, if you go online, you can actually just look for stuff like if you have a safe mounted phone. There are so many resources out there that like the internet's beautiful for that, and you can literally just like have a little instructor like show you what to do like while you're out.
I know. Why am I so...
But you need to get...
I'm like... It's not even that I'm not confident, because I'm a very safe driver, for sure. I mean, I've never been in an accident, knock on wood. Yeah. But I know,
I'm like, what's saying? You're just... The universe is like...
Oh my God, I'm about to get in an accident, aren't I?
No, you're not. You're actually not. You're not.
Good thing I'll have my angels to protect me.
You might get a ticket.
Although I did just play the devil.
And you didn't wear Prada.
That's true. Oh God.
Oh no.
I wear sassy little red pleasers that completely threw my hip out.
That's the right.
I'm sorry, officer. It was the pleases.
I'll see if Model Express sells a bedazzled neck brace.
Oh God.
I'll be there for you.
Okay. You're gonna have to teach me before we leave. I'm gonna need a driving lesson. I feel like. We have to like off balance this karma. We can't talk about this anymore.
That's true. Actually, do you want to talk about?
We need to move on.
I want to talk about something really, really cool that happened.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so since living and working in I worked in South Surrey for a long time.
Yeah.
And there is for those of you not familiar with the Vancouver area, we've got a lot of listeners that aren't Canadian, so maybe we should explain here first of all that an N on your vehicle, like when you're a new driver in British Columbia, you need to put an N on your vehicle so that other drivers on the road know you're a new driver. And it's actually kind of nice because you have a little bit more empathy or compassion for them.
I feel like it's the opposite.
Oh, really?
When I'm using my N, I feel like people drive worse around me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not the law in Alberta where I grew up. However, I have seen people I've seen a 16-year-old girl driving and she had a sign taped to her back window, written on just a piece of loose leaf.
Right.
That was just my daughter is a new driver. Please be patient. Love, her dad. And it just
cute.
And I was like, that is so adorable.
Stop.
So adorable.
That's so cute. Should I put that on my car?
You actually should. But speaking of cars, so another thing about especially Vancouver that I love, and actually Calgary does as well, but not as prevalent, I feel, and not as I didn't work with as much as the community, but we've got a lot of people from India that live in Canada and or have been born here and their ancestors from India. And so when we say Indian, we don't mean Indigenous people, like our federal government, a bunch of racist pricks that they are, still call things the Indian Act, believe it or not.
It's weird that hasn't been changed.
We still call them, and they're not changing it.
Huh.
They're like, oh, we've got a bill to reform it, and it's because they use the R word when they say R-worded Indians in the Act. That's what they're changing.
Wait, what?
They're not changing. They're still going to call them Indians.
Oh.
Yeah, but for those of you who don't know, Indians are actually people from India.
That's right.
And we've got a really large Indo-Canadian population, or South Asian, as a lot of folks would say. Because East Indian, we only say that here in North America because we said Indian the wrong way. So when we're like East Indian, we don't mean the East part of India. We just mean they're not actually Indian.
Is it Southeast Asian or something? Is that
and there's different parts of Asia, right? Because Asia's its own continent, right? But
I know nothing about geography. I'm yeah.
But then you learn, and especially in the Surrey and South Surrey area, there's a really large Indian Canadian population, and you start learning how big of a country India is.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
How many states they have, and you've got and all the languages, and you've got Farsi and Punjabi and Hindi, and so whenever I've got a lot of really great friends from India, I actually can't wait to visit India.
Yes,
I am so excited, and I've got some really good friends that I've met in the last 5 years. That some of them are from Texas and stuff like that, and I got to go to my first Indian wedding, and
so fun.
The food, and I can't wait to go see with them to India.
Oh my God, amazing! That would be so fun.
But I've noticed so they've got it's not a faith practice either. So but you have Sikhs from India,
right?
And so they quite often are known for wearing ceremonial things on their bodies. There's a lot of there's a turban aspect to it. Sometimes there's a ceremonial dagger. Sometimes they have silver bracelets on. And I don't know if you've ever noticed that on
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and so I started learning about this.
I didn't know that was a ceremonial thing.
Probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I would ask, actually quite often, it would be when I always love to chat with like my Uber driver.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if they happened to be like someone who was Sikh, I would know right away because they would usually have the silver
No, I
bangle
heard it's
on.
actually pronounced Sikh. Not Sikh.
So I say, whenever I say Sikh, they don't correct me. If I've ever said Sikh, I've been corrected.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could be either or.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know.
But yeah, whenever like I talk about it, like they're always like, yeah. I think they even say Sikh back. But you know what? Let's confirm this. Actually, if you're out there and you want to let us know, please let me know.
Yeah.
So I had an Uber drive back from my brunch yesterday.
Yeah.
With the loveliest man. He was probably the best Uber driver I've ever had.
Oh my God, cute.
And I was waiting for him at a cafe after brunch, and I had bought this cornflake cookie from this cafe.
Okay.
And it was so good. But I was like, had this box of baked goods in the back of his car, and I was like, I just bought a cornflake cookie, and I'm like, I want to try it so bad, but I know it's rude to eat in an Uber. Do you mind if I'm really careful if I eat this cookie? And he's like, go for it. So I open it, and it's a huge cookie, right? And I take a bite. It was so good. And I was like, this is really good. Do you want a piece? And he like hesitated for a moment, and then he was like, no, I'm good. I'm driving. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm like, it's really good though.
You're like, are you sure?
So then I eat this cookie in complete silence. Like I'm sure my pupils dilated because it was so good. And I closed my little snack box, and I was like, by the way, that may have been like one of the top 3 best cookies I've ever had in my life. And then I saw his arm on the steering wheel, and he was wearing one of the silver bangles.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, are you Sikh? And he's like, yeah, how did you know? I was like, because I recognize, like, your bracelet or your bangle. And I've just, like, learned bits and pieces about this faith.
Right.
And he was like, really, like, and how much do you know? And I was like, well, I know that you're not considered a religion. It's more of like, and I know that you know, the bracelet's meant to represent like karma. It's a circle on your arm.
Okay.
It's meant to represent what goes around comes around.
Oh, I love
and
that.
Karma. It's a karmic reminder of your place in the universe.
Right.
And like he just lit up, and he was like, that's so true. And he's like, did you know that the word Sikh is Punjabi for learning? And it's only been around for about 400 years, and it's about constantly learning about other things in humanity and like the way to do things as a good person. And he was like, so we don't call ourselves a religion because we're not.
Okay.
And he's like, it's literally, it means to learn. And and he was like, and if you look at anything, any religion, if you look at like the basics of it before human beings jump in and misinterpret it, it's all about karma and being a good person, doing the right thing, caring for other people, taking care of each other.
Right.
And I was just like, that's really cool, and I completely agree with you. And then he was like, he was like, do you know like where we might wear these bracelets? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, well, like what hand? And I was like, well, I usually see them on the right hand. And he was like, that's because you wear them on your dominant hand. Oh, okay. And I was like, okay, so like, where would you get one? Because like I love the symbology behind that. I think it actually this ties in really well with what we talked about at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, totally. We're bringing it full circle.
He was like, I buy them at this like in like South Surrey, where I bought it in South Surrey. He's like, there's some places, and I was like, cool. I was like, how much are they? Like, and like, where can I get them? And he's like, do you want one? And I was like, I really do. I'd like to go check them out. And he's like, do you want mine? And I was like, I couldn't possibly like accept your bracelet. He's like, no. He's like, it's not like they're blessed or magical or anything. He's like, it's just, you know, iron, and it's just circular. Oh my God. And I was like, I'd actually be honored. I would really be honored. And he was like, good. He's like, it feels really, he's like, you've been really uplifting. And he's like, it's my privilege to give this to you.
Oh my God. And so that is so cute. And he gave it to you?
Yeah. And I've been wearing it since yesterday. And he was
so
like,
hot.
He's like, when you have he's like,
I'm like, that's so hot. Like,
okay, I'll tell you a story like another time. But he was like, he said, wear it on your dominant hand, because whenever you go to do something, you usually use your dominant hand. It will remind you. This is a reminder of, what are you using that hand for right now? Are you doing something good with it? Right. Or are you stealing from someone? Or are you doing something bad? Okay. He's like, because what goes around comes around. This is karmic. And he's like, this is just a reminder for you. Right. Whenever you do anything in life, it's a reminder to yourself to always try to do the right thing and take care of other people.
So don't wear it when you go out partying. Otherwise, you might be reminded and you might have to stop what you're doing.
Well, and that's the other thing is like, I do have some memories of, foggy memories of people having these bracelets on. And that's kind of when I started paying more attention to them at the time. But, we don't need to go there.
We won't go there. We won't go there.
We're not going.
I was like, Brian, we just erased the karma from my driving.
Sticking to the beautiful message behind this, though.
I love it.
And you know what I loved is like, it's something that, if it was really meaningful to me, it's like, it's something I would have done for a stranger too.
Yeah, totally.
Like on an airplane or wherever, I actually would have offered someone this.
Yeah.
If they were that curious and they wanted one.
Totally.
And so I loved that, like, and I know how someone else would feel because it can be weird. And even my initial response was like, I couldn't possibly accept this from you as a stranger, knowing how meaningful it is.
Yeah.
But then I was like I just accepted it. I was just like,
I love that. And
he
you
was
know
so
what?
happy to have given it to me. Like,
totally.
It was so adorable.
And I feel like when those things do happen in life, it's like, just say yes.
Yeah.
You know? Like, because it actually makes the other person feel good.
Yeah.
When they're offering you something, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's like reciprocity. Like if you want to, if you give, that's great, but you also need to learn how to receive.
Yeah.
Receiving is just as important as giving.
100%. I agree.
It's circular.
Yeah. 100%.
Like this.
That actually does tie in really well.
These are called like a kata. So it's like KADA or KARA, depending on like who's spelling it where.
Do women wear them as well? Everyone wears them.
This I do not know, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Now I'm like so curious.
And there's more history behind it as well. So it's been around for the whole being a Sikh, it's only been around for like 400 to 500 years. Like it's relatively new in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
And I believe there's like, you know what? I don't want to misquote this because it's meaningful to so many people around the world. So I will do my research before I talk more about it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll
find out.
It's called a kata. I was gifted one by the most lovely individual, and it's just like one of those magical moments, I think, that is like one of those memories that I'm always going to have.
Totally. And I actually love that because I think there's so many misconceptions about just like probably a lot of things. Like, for instance, I didn't even know that that's not a religion.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that. So there's so much like misunderstanding that can happen between us all, right?
Totally.
We're tying it all back together.
Honestly, I'm really proud of us.
But,
See,
we're both indecent and we're decent.
Exactly. Yeah. I could not agree more. Could not agree more.
I love it.
Can I ask you a piece of advice?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna give you something right now.
Okay.
And
I've been waiting.
I need some advice because I don't know. Maybe I'm asking you because you're a mom and you gotta.
It's because I'm a woman, Brian.
It's because you're a woman. I'm handing you a dirty shirt because you're a woman.
How do I get it clean? I love it.
But I believe like this is a really good question to ask though, because like, and I'm pretty like, I have never not done my own laundry, and for some reason I'm stumped, and I love this shirt, so I want
Well, and I know that like I remember asking you what gets grease stains out, and you were the one who told me Shout gets it out.
If you leave it in for 24 hours and wash it on the hottest setting that fabric can handle.
Yeah, totally. So, and what's happened here is it's a shirt that says women don't owe you shit, and it's embroidered, I believe, right?
It's embroidered in the shirt.
It's embroidered.
It was the last one they had at the store when I bought it, and this was like about a year and a half ago. And it's a white t-shirt. And
it's got, it's organic cotton.
Yeah.
It's a white t-shirt, and it's got that thing that happens. I don't know why this happens to shirts, but where you get like discoloration around the neck.
Yeah, it's and just the top fringe
just
of the
top fringe of the neck.
collar.
It's like a yellowing.
You know what's weird though? I've never had this happen on a shirt.
Really?
This is my first experience.
This has happened to me, and it's also happened to like some of Simon's shirts as well. Because it's happened to a few of my shirts, and I was like, this was like when I used to wear like probably more makeup, and I was like, is it like makeup that like stains it? But it's not.
And I love wearing rosehip oil, and I'm like, was it my rosehip oil?
Oh, very well it could be.
But also like my ex,
right?
He used to get those underarms, like that same kind of yellow all the time.
Right.
And he like could not wear certain things because like it would just like he would stain them forever.
Yeah.
Which
I know everybody has different chemistry, right?
Yeah.
But so here's what I would do in a situation like this, because
first of all, what is this though? What happened?
What is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had an answer to that.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I know it's happened.
Oh, okay.
But I know how I would fix it.
Okay, please tell.
Okay, so this is what I do with things like this, and I've actually used this trick a lot more since I had kids because they stain their clothes sometimes, and you like cannot get the stain out. Rex did this one time with like turmeric. Like I made a turmeric soup. I should have just like stripped him down naked to eat it, but that was my fault. But what I do is I dye it. I dye the shirt.
Okay.
So
I thought you meant you were restricting calories.
No.
What do I do? What I do to fix the shirt is I dye it so I can fit into a smaller one.
I dye it.
Are you telling me I'm fat?
So all you need to do is dye it and the stain will disappear. If you go on literally go on Amazon.
Snorted. I don't think I've ever snorted on this podcast.
Oh yes, you have.
Have I? Okay.
We both have.
Okay.
We like probably snorted earlier.
Okay.
But if you go onto like Amazon or wherever, like you can get it other places, I'm sure. But I don't know. Amazon is easier sometimes. But you can get RIT dye. Like I'm sure you can get lots of different types, but RIT dye is what I use.
Okay.
And there's tons of colors. And it's so easy. You just do it at home and then it's not a problem anymore. And basically everything I buy that's white eventually gets dyed.
So what color do I dye that? Because it's embroidered black.
Yeah, but it won't change the black.
Yeah, but like how do I still make the black stand out?
Like I feel like if you could do like
a teal?
You could totally do a teal. You could do, what else looks really good? I always find the purples look really good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you so one thing that I've dyed recently was a white cotton duvet cover that Ziggy barfed on. And I just could not get the stain out.
How do you spell?
R-I-T. And so I ended up dyeing it purple and it was like literally like a purple marshmallow. It was so cute. And pink also would look really cute.
Actually,
pink would be really cute.
Perfect.
And the way that it dyes, like, it just looks kind of cool because it's not like tie dye, but it's like that like kind of cool garment dye look.
Oh, and there's like a cloudiness to it.
Yeah, like you know.
Yeah.
And you can kind of choose. Like I think you just mix it with salt, or there's instructions for like how to do it with like cotton. Okay. But literally, it's so fun, and when you do it, you're gonna actually end up finding like a bunch of other stuff that you want to be pink.
I love it.
Yeah, and you can just do it like right in your sink or in your bathtub.
My other and now
pink I think would be cute because that would also hide the stain really well.
It would.
Yeah.
My other option, this was like my backup plan.
Okay, let's hear your backup.
Is like I think I could cut this embroidered bit out and make it into a patch.
That would be cool
and
too.
either put it on a hat.
Yeah.
Or like a backpack that I need like a new.
But I like it as a shirt.
Me too.
You know?
I really do.
Because you could also just like embroider a backpack.
I really liked it like a white shirt.
I like it like a white shirt, but I also think it would look really cute as a pink shirt or a purple shirt.
Me too. Yeah, pink or purple. Yeah. Let's do it.
I'll send you a picture of the purple that I used and then you can see if you like it or not. Because I also dyed a sweatshirt of mine that was white, and it had that like kind of yellowing thing that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, other people probably know even other ways that you can like get stains out, but I feel like white can be hard unless you're using like bleach, but bleach isn't guaranteed, and then you can't really dye after you've bleached white.
Oh. Okay.
Because it actually damages the fabric, bleach.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So you can't really like dye things that have been bleached. It just will be like really blotchy. And then
like if I did try to bleach, I'm glad I haven't because of the red patch and stuff, right?
Totally,
like
and like it would also mess with the embroidery.
Totally.
So dye would be perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. RIT dye it is.
RIT dye.
RIT dye.
RIT dye.
Poster children for them.
I love it.
Me too.
Okay, so one thing though that I need to know, because Halloween is coming up on Thursday. I don't even know if this will come out before or after. I'm sure it will come out like either before or on or something.
Yeah, before or on. Yeah, but it's not really a Halloween episode, so maybe a little bit before.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, I think like
well, it is Halloweeny though, because we have talked about Halloween.
True. Are Tuesdays like our release day though? Like, do we generally shoot for a Monday or a Tuesday? I think a Tuesday. Actually,
I think Tuesday. Yeah, typically.
So we got till tomorrow.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Well, happy. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah. Happy Halloweeny. But what I want to know is, when do you start your Christmas? Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, do you like Christmas?
I am, okay.
Are you a Christmas fan?
I remember discovering last episode and then it made 10 years of friendship make sense, 10 years plus. about how like fanatical you get around that season.
Right.
Like that
I
time,
turn
like
into
you,
Krista
like
with
it
a
was
capital
like
Christmas K.
it was a non-consensual photo shoot where you forced me to wear those Christmas lights.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you go on our Instagram, there's a Christmas post of us, and I was like, I don't really like it. I don't want to be in it. And you're like, we're taking it and posting it.
It was non-consensual,
like,
but it
I'm
was
like,
sensual.
It was. You really put the sensual in there. You got me like it was just like as smooth as eggnog. But it was hilarious because you got this look in your eye, and I was like. She's very passionate about. And then everything clicked into place when I discovered that you were a Christmas lunatic.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it. There's something I love about just like throwing on like holiday songs, like snow, Christmas lights. It makes me sad when we have to take them, like you're expected to take them down at a certain point, because then it's just bleak and depressing until you hit like what? March, yeah.
February for me because it's my birthday month, so I always have fun.
Right.
It's,
we love
Valentine's.
That. True, but like the public decor is like not as festive.
Well, yes, agreed. But this is my little tricky wiki, is that if you start celebrating Christmas on November 1st, then you're completely sick of it by Boxing Day, and then everything comes down without any sadness.
Okay, this is really smart.
I love the Christmas season, so I like to make the Christmas season big as possible. Like I'm like, let's like little by little, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I used to have a rule, which was no Christmas decor till after Remembrance Day.
Okay, so here's my thing on that. I think like public Christmas decor should wait until after Remembrance Day. In fact, I get a little judgy at stores when they go full out in Canada in specific.
Right.
Because I think like
you're like, where's your poppy?
I think it's like a Commonwealth thing, but it's like November 11th is like, you know, in Canada that's like Remembrance Day, you know, end of the war. It's for veterans. Like, well, it's true. It's true. Like,
just throw a little accent in there.
Oh, yeah.
The end of the war.
It ended November 11th at 11:11.
Did it actually?
Actually.
It actually ended at 11:11.
Seriously, that's why.
Shut up.
That's why the moment of silence happens at 11:11.
I thought it was just because it's like 11:11, like November 11th.
There's so many significances.
11th month, 11th day. Stop.
That's why you
11th
do
hour,
that,
11th
that
minute.
silence at 11.
Are you sure?
I am 100% positive.
I need to look this up after.
Did you ever think it was weird that we waited till that time after 11 to do the silence?
Well, I just thought it was like because it's like 11:11 as in like the month and the day.
Oh yeah, no, it was the time as well.
Wow, that is incredible.
Okay, now it might not be 11 hours and 11 minutes exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was 11:11. Like there was.
Wait, is it at 11:11 that we do the moment of silence, or is it at 11 a.m.?
It might be at 11.
Right. Okay.
So, but it was like 11:11. Like
right. Okay.
Like it. That's when it ended. That's why we did the silence then.
If you didn't believe in angels before.
Right? It's like that's
11:11.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cute.
But so I think it's like it's respectful for the people who are, you know, are still alive and that have gone through it, that for them, because there's a lot that they went through.
Not even just that, but like just like to remember that time in history. Always get emotional.
So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, on Remembrance Day, because you know, and this is another thing that I always try to remind myself and like with other people when we're talking about wars and stuff, like when people, you know, get it like like the military and blah blah blah, you know, like what you're really upset at is our government, but like people who join the military and who like go into jobs like that, you know, and not everybody, okay, but like not everybody who works at Starbucks is a fucking one, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like is just there to make you a beautiful coffee, like there's bad apples everywhere, but really I think the people who go into the military do so because they genuinely love their community and the people around them. Yes. And you're actually going to protect other people. Like again, it's that thing where it's like everyone's trying to do the right thing.
They're trying to do
not
good
always
for those around
but
them.
I'm saying like, you know, like collectively I do think, you know, like military, they fight forest fires, like they go especially the, you know, they
do way more than we give them credit for.
Yeah,
they really do.
And I have family members in the military, and I have family members who served in the wars.
And so many of my family members are veterans.
Yeah,
and you know, and like the Legion used to be, even in the last 5 years, it's kind of changed, but it's so important to have.
Karaoke, shout out.
Oh gosh, and the kids one.
It's so fun.
It is like, it's the most fun. But
I love karaoke.
I like, I like the fact that like we're making sure history doesn't repeat itself, and then bring it around to like, it's really a selfless act for a lot of people to do that, because they're protecting what they care about and what's close to them.
Totally.
And it's like, what keeps me sane, honestly.
Well, and especially back then too, because it was actually more, it was like a draft. So it was like literally just if you were a young man. Like when you look at like the ages, if you've ever gone to the cemetery here, within the military part of the cemetery, like they're all in their early 20s.
It's
like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, that's really sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What actually keeps me sane, doing a lot of work in, like in the Indigenous realm, and a lot of things that we have like wrong in our country that we need to write about, that is like, I firmly believe, and this is why I get out of bed in the morning, and this is actually what keeps me from going completely crazy. I believe that like 99.9% of people get out of bed in the morning wanting to do the right thing and be a good person. And circumstances may lead to them not necessarily living up to that day, but I firmly believe that you're inherently born wanting to be good.
Yeah. And then the trauma happens, but yeah, we gotta
or you have a bad day.
Or you have a bad day.
Or,
You gotta have compassion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But anyways.
Everyone.
Anyways, let's.
But anyway, so does your Christmas decor
since we've
go
been
up
doing
before
that,
or after?
Chris has braided my armpit hair and beaded it.
It's looking really gorgeous.
Put the guitar down. We're not singing Kumbaya. But yeah, so Christmas decor, I think like. Okay, so this reminds me, my cousin in Saskatchewan is massive, and I'm just going to call her by name. Brandy is a huge Christmas fan.
Right.
And her husband's birthday is at the end of October.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I believe it's like the 30th or the 31st, and forgive me for not remembering this, but I'm pretty sure it's the 30th.
Okay.
And they have a rule since they've been married,
right,
that she can't pull out Christmas decorations until after his birthday.
Oh, that's crazy that she wants to.
Oh.
She doesn't like Halloween. She's like, fuck Halloween.
And she's okay with Halloween, but she's like ready to go for... And literally, it's like the day after his birthday. Like, I don't even think like the Halloween decorations are down, and like the Christmas boxes are out.
Oh my God, I
love
that.
And they're ready. And so she's
I feel like that's going to be me this year.
But now you've given her like more... like I hope she listens to this, because like that makes sense, because then you're sick of it by Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure Brandy would do year-round Christmas.
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
She loves it.
She loves it so much.
And she like loves the family aspect of it, the togetherness, everything we love about it, actually.
Well, we're going to do a Christmas episode, and on it, we are going to be having a few drinks, because we have not done a drunken episode in a long time, and Christmas is the season to do that.
We're gonna nog it up, baby.
We're gonna nog it up.
We're gonna
rum and eggnog it, except for not rum, because I will turn into a fucking crazy person. But something. We'll do some like festive beer or something like that. And I'm literally writing a note down for that episode.
I love it.
So
I'm here for this.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
But yeah, internally, anytime you want to. Externally, best to wait till after November 11th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you're a store, like you should respectfully do that.
Like get your poppies out.
Yeah. Honestly, it's time to wear a poppy.
Yeah.
It's not time to put on a Santa hat and get shit faced and do a podcast.
But that's coming soon.
True.
November 12th? Yes.
November 12th until December 26th.
You're on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I literally want decor down before New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Like, I don't like to bring in the New Year with Christmas decor.
Okay. Love it.
It's just me.
Hey.
You're allowed. It's just me.
You're allowed.
It's just me. Speaking of internally and externally, I thought it might be time to do a little bit of
It's in the stars, baby.
And I know that you just have received your upgraded TUSHY. Finally came in the mail.
So if you remember in the last episode, we talked about the top 5 things we can't live without, and one of Krista's was the TUSHY. And ironically enough, this is made, I'm not even going to say ironically enough, and I'm not even going to say it's a coincidence, because our conversations always lead back to a butthole, one way or another.
We can't help ourselves.
We've mentioned TUSHY on multiple episodes. My TUSHY Spa edition arrived, finally, because at this new place here, I didn't have one yet. I was pooping like a peasant.
Yeah.
It arrived. My balloon knot's squeaky clean, and it's happy. I opened their instruction manual. First of all, TUSHY's marketing team, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Like 10 out of 10.
They do. They've got it down.
There's a little booklet in there. You pull it out, and it's called This Number 2 Shall Pass. Then you go through it, and it goes through, how to brag about your TUSHY to friends, and things like, to your boss, Janice, Thank you so much for the promotion, Janice. I have to attribute my increased productivity to my clean butthole.
Yeah.
Like, and then you flip
But
through,
like actually legit.
and you flip through more. It's like analyze your poop with the Bristol stool chart.
I love it.
And anal is capitalized, and then
I know.
eyes.
They just went dirty all the way.
And then you go through, and coincidentally enough, it's astrology that they have in there. And
so fun.
They have all the signs like listed out, and that just made me
little horoscopes for each sign.
It made me giggle so much that we actually reached out to Tushy, because they have a little bit where they're like, if you promote us, we're gonna send you a shirt that says, "Ask me about my butthole."
Which, like, is very BaKChat.
It's like, right, I'm surprised we didn't think of it, but also when I saw astrology in there, actually, Krista, what did you think?
It made me wonder, because we've been plug-in Tushy for a few years now.
And we've also been using bidets.
We've been plugging our Tushies, and we've also been plugging Tushy. And I was like, hey, it's in the stars. Like, did they get this astrology from us? Are we going to have to sue these buttholes?
Yeah. It writes itself.
It does.
Yeah.
But
so we put our ass hats on.
We did put our ass hats on. Our asshole hats.
Our asshole hats, yeah.
And we decided, you know what, we're going to do some astrology ourselves. 100. And we're going to talk about the types of shitters that the signs are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to talk about the signs and their shitters.
And also maybe we'll just throw in like what kind of butt they have.
Oh, I like this. Okay, that was an extra that I was not expecting.
We're going to throw it in.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess let's kick things off with, we're not going in alphabetical order or anything by topic, but Aries and asshole both start with an A.
There we go.
So let's kick it off with Aries.
Now, Aries has a big butt because Aries is the ram.
Yes.
Right? So anything with haunches is going to be a big booty. Mm-hmm. Bootylicious.
I completely agree with you.
But when it comes to pooping, I personally think that Aries is a very, like, private and particular shitter. Like, they need, circumstances must be perfect for them to take a proper shit.
Could not agree more. They also probably have, they've either taught you about the match trick after you take a poop to light it, or they're the kind of, they're the reason, they're the market that poopery was invented for.
I was going to say.
The pre-toilets, right? Were you thinking the same thing?
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Of course.
I was like, they're going to have poopery in their house for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you've probably never smelt them after a poop.
That's right.
Or you've never been out and they've never actually told you they have to poop.
And actually, speaking of, our resident kinkologist / Aries, Judith, never has had a stinky fart.
You know what? I can't think of an Aries in my life. Like,
that has a stinky fart.
Handy Andy, if you're listening, you're also an Aries, and I've never heard you even talk about farting.
Well, Simon is an Aries.
We've talked about farting.
He farts all the time, but very rarely do they stink.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, isn't it?
Very, very, very Aries.
Something to think about.
Are you ready to kick this butthole up a notch with a little Taurus action?
A little Taurus. See, now to me, a Taurus also is more of a badonkadonk type.
Okay, so I feel like a Taurus fills out a Taurus makes a Libra jealous.
Yeah.
For how good their ass looks probably and things.
Side to side, baby.
Oh, man. It just always looks good. Like, you're just like, I wish I could fill that out like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to their shits, though, Tauruses take rank, shameless poops. I think, not on purpose, but, like, a Taurus is someone, like, if you heard them, like, sit in the bathroom and, like, fart super loud, they wouldn't be embarrassed about it.
Okay,
And they also, like, they'll try their best to make sure it doesn't stink, but if it does a little bit, they're going to be like, hey,
deal with it.
We all poop.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay, I love that. See, and, like, I feel like Taurus, like, they definitely, they're very, like, all about, like, creature comforts, right?
Yes.
So, like, they're the type to have, like, those padded toilet seats.
Oh, the kind when you sit down and they go, psh.
Yeah, that's the one. And they've definitely got...
Those are in the same era as bath beads.
Yes. Oh, my God, totally.
Yeah.
They might even have some beaded bath beads.
Well, they have beads on a string, but it's not for the bath. Oh, never mind. We're not at Scorpio yet.
Literally, that's exactly what I was just gonna say. I can't. Let's just move on to Gemini.
Okay, so Gemini, their butt. Okay, now, and this is not to sound cliche, but I feel like there are two kinds of Gemini butts.
Okay, well,
they either exist or they don't.
Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah.
Totally. That's
like you're
exactly
either like,
the type.
damn, that ass. Are you a Taurus? Or you're like, I've never actually thought about this Gemini's butt before because I have never seen it.
Never seen it.
True.
They're pulling off a pancake ass.
Now, as far as poops go, I feel like you're
Gemini's are all over the place.
Geminis and Aries have something in common where a certain type of Gemini, you've probably never heard them fart or smell a fart.
Okay.
There's another kind of Gemini where it's like
only farts.
Only farts.
Only smells.
And it has like they're the kind of farts that you remember because it like normally everybody farts, right? But like I feel like a Gemini fart, if they're a farter, you don't forget their brand.
Right. Their brand 100%. It makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
I love it.
And as for pooping,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Gemini is kind of like all over the place, a bit erratic. Like I feel like they're not super regular, you know?
They're not super regular, and I feel like it doesn't matter whether you're a farting Gemini or a non-farting Gemini. I feel like you would have something in common with Taurus once again, where it's just like, oh, that was rank, or, you know, or in the show, I gotta poop, you know, but we all poop. But I think the creature comforts of Taurus also come into play with Gemini.
Okay, all right.
You know, I think they do like if they're that kind of Gemini,
right?
They've got all in fact they don't even have like the Tushy spa with the warm water.
Right.
They've got the full on Tushy electric toilet seat.
Right, or they've got like an actual full on like toilet. In fact, one Gemini that we know does.
There you go.
Full on ass toilet.
Point proven.
Ass toilet.
Yeah, guilty as charged. How does it feel to be charged, huh? At least we're not the only ones.
Okay, Cancer. Now, Cancer...
Oh, little Cancer baby poop.
To me, I feel like Cancer can get constipated.
Yeah.
Sometimes with all those emotions. It
totally.
can, kind of depend on what's going on in their life is going to be like the indicator of whether or not they're like, you know, feeling regular, not feeling regular.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement on the pooping aspect of it. But what about their ass?
Well, see, Cancers, I feel like whether you're a Cancer Sun or a Cancer Rising, there's not a lot going on in the booty department.
I could not agree more.
They're more boobylicious.
Yeah. Or okay, Cancers,
because Cancer's all about the breasts. They're moon,
Cancers either have amazing pecs or boobs, or they've got like a banging body.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whether you're curvy or you're like you're slim, like their bodies just always look good.
Yeah.
Like they can put on a bikini regardless of who they are and they're gonna look amazing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Little butts though, don't you think?
Little butts? Tiny little butts.
Tiny little butts.
Cute little bum cheeks.
Butts.
But you remember that they have
small butts.
You remember they have a butt only because the rest of their body's so banging.
Right, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Whereas you're like, did that Gemini have a butt? I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Can't remember, governor.
Okay, now what about Leo?
Oh man. Okay, so first of all, Leo wishes they had Leo would murder to have a Taurus ass, but and possibly have.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go. Yeah, they eat you know, the bull for dinner.
100%. In
lions.
fact, like, yeah, if like they were going to go to the butcher shop, they would order a rump roast.
I feel like Leo doesn't want people to know that they shit.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True.
They don't even want anyone to know. Like if there's someone over at their house, they'll hold it.
Like because they want to go back to their litter box and then discreetly kick the litter back over it. However, I feel like a Leo will unabashedly fart anywhere.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but for the noise.
For the noise.
They will. They if it's going to be a silent but deadly, they will never own up to it and they will go elsewhere.
They'll blame it on like a Gemini.
But if they know it's going to be a loud fart, or if they can make a loud fart,
right,
they will make it. They'll push extra hard to make that fart, just so that the table is like, oh my goodness, and they're like, oh.
The table. Oh my god. Okay, what about Virgo?
Okay, so Virgos, they're a very ritualistic pooper.
Very ritualistic. I feel like Virgos also get diarrhea.
Virgos get two things. Virgos get traveler's constipation, not traveler's diarrhea.
Absolutely.
And they would also get diarrhea
at home because of all the pressures, and they're very sensitive to foods.
Yeah. But they have to like
sensitive tummies.
Like if they're regular, but they're not like a twice a day regular. They're like but they need to be at home. It needs to be like the stars have to be aligned a certain way. A candle has to be lit at the right time.
Yeah.
A fan has to be on. Like
Yeah.
very ritualistic before. Otherwise, they'll sit down in their little balloon knot. We'll be like, mm-mm.
Yeah, and I feel like they don't ever really want to talk too much about it, unless it's with other Virgos who are like ready to pathologize.
Yeah, or unless they're trying to tell you how to analyze like the Bristol stool chart.
Totally. They would definitely know all about the Bristol poop chart.
But they wouldn't talk about their own poop to a non-Virgo.
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah.
It depends who's listening.
True.
You know?
But I feel like they're more likely to acknowledge they poop with another Virgo.
Absolutely. Or other earth sign even.
What about their ass?
Now, I feel like Virgo could badonkadonk it up, but like somewhere kind of a demure.
Oh, demure,
a demure badonkadonky.
If I think of the term yoga ass.
Oh, Virgo comes to
Virgo
mind.
has a yoga ass.
Virgo does have a yoga ass.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not to like, you know.
It's not even like super like tight and round, but it's just kind of like, yeah.
Bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like if you were to draw a little cartoon character and wanted to have like little bum cheeks.
A little bit.
A little like lifted bum cheeks.
Yeah.
That's a Virgo butt.
Bonk. There it is.
Yeah.
Doink.
What about Libra?
See, I feel like Libra is always having such a challenge balancing the scales that they don't have time to have a full badonkadonk.
Oh yeah, totally.
I feel like actually all air signs kind of like don't have big butts.
We don't have big butts and we cannot lie.
No.
Yeah.
We don't have big butts
in
and
fact,
we cannot
like
lie.
as a Libra and as somebody who is indigenous, we often call ourselves bannock butts.
Oh, a bannock butt.
Because we have bannock bums because like they look like little pieces of bannock. We don't have asses, so as an indigenous Libra, like I'm
You're
totally
like, I
the
relate.
case in point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
totally.
I'm just like jealous of seeing like these booties out there
Yeah.
and like I wish I had that.
Yeah.
And then, but they just really don't exist for us.
Yeah.
So we try to make up for it with other facets of our physique or personality.
Totally.
Yeah. But now if you ever pay attention to that, everyone, you will notice that a Libra is just, compensating for their lack of ass in other areas.
There you go.
Overcompensating in some
now,
circumstances.
What kind of shitter?
I'm going to say Libra is not necessarily ritualistic. Prone to traveler's constipation,
right?
Not diarrhea,
right?
But when they are in a routine and on the clock, I think that it would be like if a Virgo they were to tell a Virgo, the Virgo would be like, you are like the classic example of like what a shitter should look like.
Right. I can see that too. Like very balanced. Like it's like maybe not ritualistic, but it's like very routine.
Yeah.
Like at the same time of day.
Totally. And just like
and it's like have my coffee, take a shit, like
yeah, and it's never one of those like prolonged. I feel like a Libra would probably take longer to go pee just because they're gonna fix their hair after and do whatever because there's no smell to worry about. Whereas like I feel like they're in and out when it comes to a poop.
Okay, in and out.
Yeah.
There we go.
In and out. Scorpio.
Internal and external.
So I feel like a Scorpio. Once they're
Scorpio,
let's talk on the poop side of it.
Let's be honest. Scorpio's giving themselves an enema every day.
Oh, like once the Scorpio has pulled the anal beads out, I feel like actually maybe sometimes a Scorpio will use it as a kickstart. Almost like a pull start lawnmower.
Absolutely.
They're like just to get themselves going in more ways than one.
I feel like they're always down for some anal, and so therefore, they're just like enemas every day.
Oh yeah. Like,
they always have to be ready.
Yeah. They would be like from an ass perspective, they're literally like the douchebags of the zodiac. It's why we have them.
Oh my god, 100%. And don't you think like Scorpios have like the type of ass that's it's not in your face, but it is like nice and cute and round.
Oh, for sure. And they but
it's like surprising.
You notice a Scorpio's ass because they want you to. It's never like an accident. Like I'm gonna go back to
you're not gonna like be like, wow, this person's ass, unless they're like.
And I'll go back to like let's talk again about like a Cancer's ass or like a Gemini's good ass. Like a Taurus or a Scorpio will purposefully like it. You don't remember a Scorpio's ass because it naturally looks just good like other signs. Yeah. They're like making sure you see it, whether or not it's naturally beautiful.
Totally.
You know?
Whether or not it's naturally beautiful.
Yeah, or whether or not it's natural. Douchebags and Brazilian butt lifts.
Oh,
That's
shit.
why we have them. Yeah.
All right. Okay, now Sagittarius. Okay. This is another sign with, I believe they're half fish, half what? Ram, half something.
Half fish, half bull. Or that's Capricorn, isn't it?
No, it's Sagittarius, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. They're the Archer.
Yeah, the Archer. Yeah. So I feel like a Sagittarius. Couple things. First of all, a Sag is completely open, kind of like a Virgo, about the Bristol stool chart, and we'll talk about theirs. However, you've probably never smelled a Sag fart, or if they've announced that they need to poop, because they probably would, you would never know that they had pooped, because they take all the precautions behind the scenes to never expose anyone else to like an unpleasant smell.
Really, see, to me, I feel like Sagittarius is just like, I just pooped, so don't go in there.
Oh, or that though. They'll give you that warning. Right. But it's not like a reckless Taurus.
Right, yeah.
When it comes to pooping.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, they're going to be forthright about it, but also, like, they really don't want you to go in there.
Yeah.
You know? But if you do, it's your own fault.
Yeah. They're kind of like, told ya.
Yeah, you were asking for it.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
Now, what about their asses?
See, I feel like Sagittarius always has a pretty good butt.
I
don't think I've ever met a Sagittarius without a good butt. No. Honestly. I'm thinking about all the Sag in my life, and I'm like, they've all got it good going butts.
On. Yeah.
Big
Although
butts.
I think
round butts.
They're modest about them though a lot of the time. So I feel like a lot of the times they'll dress so you would never, you're either going to see their tits or their body, but you're never going to see like their butt until they want you to see it.
Right.
And then they're really going to pull a Scorpio on you.
Right. Like it's going to be like
in your face. Yeah. Here's my pull start.
Right. Here's my pull start, babe. All right.
Depending on what time of the month it is, careful on what string you pull with Sag.
Shit. Bitch.
Yeah, you'll start something one way or another.
One way or the other, babe. Okay, well, Capricorn. So are they a fish on the bottom or a fish on top?
They're fish on the bottom.
Are they fish on the bottom?
They're fish on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
Very strange little creatures. I feel like. I feel like Capricorn's butts, so very strange but sexy creatures.
Yes.
I feel like their butts, once again, we're going to go back to like, not to go all Libra on you with this, but like if a Capricorn's got a nice ass, it's because they are in the gym working for that. They are doing Pilates. They are doing whatever. Maybe they've had a little BBL on the side, but they have actually what you see for it. And if they have had a little BBL on the side, it's because they've side hustled to pay for it.
Okay.
But I feel like naturally, like maybe naturally they're not born with a great one, but they're gonna make sure that
they've got it.
They've worked hard for it. Like they're the reason like Bun Busters exist. You know?
Right.
That's the demographic.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Capricorn is a very private shitter. I feel like they don't want. I feel like if they were having a party and they had to shit, they would literally kick everybody out.
Or they would go down the street. Yeah. And poop somewhere else. And then come back.
Yeah. And like, just.
Or if you ever share a hotel room with them, like they will go down to the lobby and poop.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like, because it's not even that they're afraid of pooping, they just don't want to poop around people they know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Strangers, like, they'd have no problem.
They're like, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah.
But like, when it comes to like someone they know or like.
For sure.
They're like, I'm not doing this.
Same with farting. But
there's also like a generational thing though, don't you think? Because I feel like our generation, it's much more open about pooping. Whereas I feel like the older generations, like, they just don't even talk about it.
No, they don't. It's almost like that's very true.
Like the one man that I dated who was like 23 years older than me, we never talked about shitting in our relationship or farting. So I would always be like, I gotta like, and I would have to like keep it a secret just because he would never talk about it.
What was his sign though?
He was a Taurus.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
Wow.
So I feel
also, I didn't know he was a Taurus.
Yeah.
This changes everything.
I know.
In my mind. Well, nothing. No, actually, it changes nothing. But it also
it all actually makes sense. Taurus are very addictive.
It adds up.
They're very addictive. Yes. Like as in like their personalities. They're very habitual, right? Like they're into what they're into, and they don't want anybody to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Like that's Taurus.
Completely agree.
You know.
For Aquarians, our little Aquarius shit is out there.
Our little Aquarius.
Okay. Their asses, amazing.
Okay, I
feel like naturally they just have a good ass.
Okay. See, I feel like I have a tiny little ass and I'm an Aquarius.
But it's a good ass. It doesn't mean when I say like a great looking ass, it doesn't have to be big to be great looking.
Right, it's just a little ass.
Like it's like either like you do have like the picture perfect like badongadonk, or you have got like that wonderful like yoga just butt like a Virgo.
Bonk. Just a little doop.
But it always looks good. And you don't have to try to make it look good.
Right.
So that's like the natural ass that people are like, you know what?
There we go.
That girl, like, she's got a great ass. Now that I think about it, if you think of a good ass by memory, it's either because a Taurus wanted you to see it,
right,
or an Aquarius just walked by.
I know, because Aquarius is our last air sign of the zodiac.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like the air signs just, the air signs,
but
they can go either way.
Unlike a Libra, though, like an Aquarian, like, even though, like you wouldn't have necessarily a panic bum. Right. You know? Right. Like, it might be little, but it's still there.
Yeah. And I feel like, for pooping wise, I feel like Aquariuses they don't really care who knows that they're taking a shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, they'll judge you for whatever your toilet setup is.
Totally.
Like, what do you have in your bathroom? It's like, oh my God, this is your bathroom. Like, I'm not pooping here. Or like, you know what I mean?
1000%.
Or like, well, I have to shit, but your bathroom sucks, so I guess I'm going home.
And they'll like let you know that.
Yeah.
Or they will tell someone close to them. Like, they will actually discuss like the details of the bathroom and why they couldn't shit.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like they're very open about like talking about the poop.
Yeah. Well, yes. But I also feel like if you were to once again discuss it with a Virgo might be a little concerned with how all over the map you are on the Bristol stool chart. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally makes sense. All right.
Pisces.
Our little Pisces.
I'm not sure a Pisces has ever pooped.
Has a Pisces ever gone to the toilet?
I don't think Pisces has ever pooped. I think a Pisces would never even, if a Virgo brought up the stool chart,
they wouldn't even want to talk about it.
They would unfriend them.
Yeah.
Like, they would stop talking to them.
They'd be like,
I've never farted. I have never pooped.
Yeah.
I feel like,
they don't burp.
They don't burp. Like, there's nothing unpleasant. You would certainly never smell a Pisces fart.
I feel like a sweet relief for the Pisces would be like, nobody's home and no one's coming home that day, and they just have complete privacy. Yeah. And that's the only way. They're like in their little fish tank, and they're like,
and even
no disruptions.
But even when they have complete privacy, they still take all of the precautions of an Aries.
Totally. They're like still embarrassed by their own
They're still using the poopery.
Just thinking about
and the candle.
Yes.
In fact, they probably have the poopery, the candle, and
the
like
match.
several and the fan on.
The fan on.
They'll close the door after.
Yeah.
And then
locking the door.
They kind of sweat a little because, like, what if someone just shows up at
random?
They're like,
what if the queen comes?
And they'll have to admit that they pooped.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Which they never would.
But their asses, they're not afraid to talk about how good their ass looks.
True.
They're like, and like there's as modest as they can be.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to their actual ass, they are probably the least modest of all the signs in terms of like, my butt looked really great in that.
Oh yeah, totally. Actually, 100%. I see that for sure.
Like, my butt doesn't poop or fart. It just looks amazing.
It just looks amazing. You wish.
you wish you were a fish.
Exactly.
And we just did it. So,
oh my God, here we are.
Take that, hellotushy.com.
That's right.
Show us your butthole. Or, I mean, ask me about your butthole? No.
Show us your butthole.
Okay. We're already fucking this up.
I mean,
ask me about my butthole.
Ask me about my butthole.
Unless I'm a Pisces.
Or show me your butthole.
Or show me your butthole if you're a Taurus.
Either works.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say, because I'm really excited, so coming up, Brian, you are producing and also performing your first comedy show on November 13th at the Biltmore Cabaret. Now, I will be there.
Yay!
100%.
I'm so excited that you're going to be there. And yeah, the Biltmore Cabaret, like, thank you, first of all, for them trusting me to produce a comedy show. It's my
Not after they listen to this episode.
Yeah, they're like, canceled.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. We heard what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, until the
They're like, charges?
Until the rest of those charges are dropped, cigarette burns or not.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like, they've entrusted me to produce a show. It's my first time ever producing a show. So I've done a few like stand-up comedy shows before. We can talk about stand-up comedy a bit more on another episode.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's a fun story.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure it's completely my medium, but so I've been in a few shows now, and I've wanted to actually try putting one together myself. Mm-hmm. And so I've got a lineup of, 7 wonderful comedians that I've either taken classes with or have met along this journey. And incredible group of people. You can go over to, actually, we'll post the link on BaKChat. If you go to our link in our bio, we'll have a link where you can buy tickets. It's called Inside Jokes, comedy night.
I love it.
Because that's when we first started our classes. Our group name was Inside Jokes, our WhatsApp group.
Cute.
And then the theme of the night is live, laugh, leave.
I love it. It's perfect. It's I'm so excited.
November 13th is my mom's birthday.
Oh my God, cute.
I'm actually flying her out for the show for her birthday.
Oh my God, adorable.
Yeah, so she'll be here for a few days.
Cute.
And she's looking forward to it as well.
Amazing.
Although it's like making me rethink some of my stand-up. Just like you're worried about your mom listening to this. That's what came to mind. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. What about if you can make eye contact with your mother when you're saying this?
Yeah, no, don't make eye contact.
No.
Oh my gosh,
no eye contact.
No eye contact.
She has a little hard of hearing, and she hasn't got her hearing aid yet. So
good. I didn't say jizz on your face.
No, exactly. I said Riz out in space.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Riz the raccoon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
And she'll be like, what? I'll be like, it didn't make sense to me either. That's why nobody laughed. Anyways.
Yeah. Moving on.
But yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
We'll
so
post
everybody
in the bio.
get your tickets. If you're listening, get your tickets. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with Brian. We would love to have a little drinky and have a little laugh.
Amazing. And you can even meet some of the recurring characters we talk about here on the show.
That's right.
If they're comfortable with it, we'll talk to them. But a lot of them that you hear about regularly will be there.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be so much fun.
It's going to be really fun.
And speaking of so much fun and like love, I've had so much fun this episode. And
Me too.
I just love you.
I love you too.
As a human being.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yay.
And in the meantime, and I hope that burn on your arm heals.
Don't give them any clues.
But if it doesn't, at least or by the scar, you'll always remember my name because I'm Brian.
I'm Krista, and together
we are
BaKChat.